to another episode of the Miles Offside podcast, where we talk a little bit of football and a whole lot of nonsense. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Footy From Afar, and with me, as always, I have the pleasure of being joined by my co-hosts, reigning FPL champion Chuck Bailey and super producer Ian Stimson. Ian, back in first place in the FPL, feeling good about yourself right now?
Am I? Am I above you two?
Nope, incorrect.
Is it me then? It must be me then.
Nope, not you.
Oh, well then no one is. All right, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
Fucking dangle the dream and take it away like that.
Come on, Chuck. Give it to us. Brag.
Well, the mathematicians amongst you will know that by elimination, if Oscar's not top, Ian's not top, then I'm top.
Three-way tie?
So there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, no. FPL. Are we doing FPL first?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. Let's fucking do it.
Let's do FPL up the top. FPL, what a weird game week of things. Actual good scores. I had 74. Ian had 75. Oscar had 62. So yeah, good things. Seems to be about, what was the average actually? Average was 62 points.
Yeah, I'm average every single week. I've been like within a point of the average, which I don't even like. I'm not reading FPL websites and stuff, so I don't know. I just have like a template team, but like by accident.
Yeah, so you're the average player, exactly.
So I'm the average casual. Yeah, exactly. It's me. Just look at my team.
Congratulations.
Yeah. That's going on.
And whilst we're here, let's talk about the league as well. We do have to do an honourable mention, as sadly, Oscar, your compatriot Hubert Rodriguez with Guatemalan Cafe Magic has dropped well out of the top 10
No.
now.
Oh, he'll be back. They'll be back. I believe it.
However, and we're doing this at the front as well, new Patreon announcement. Friend of Hubert Rodriguez, Wilson, has joined us. Thank you very much.
Wilson!
You've been a lovely addition to the Slack. Even if you did come in and say straight away that Newcastle are better than Palace, but it's fine, you're forgiven. You can join us too, patreon.com/Miles Offside Pod. The link is below. But let's do our top 10. In joint ninth, we have Lynn Hamer and Johnny Worthington. They're on 274, sharing that. Then in eighth, Owen Carr and Wheeze Wanderers. 7, Reece Ferguson. Big whoop! 6th, Chris Smith. Chicken Tikka Mo Salah. It's always a classic. Always. In 5th, Wild Panenka, last year's proper reigning champion, Rob Heppenstall. 4th, Gabriel Penalosa with Baby Jota. 3rd, Vin Lee. I'm begging of you, please change your team name. In 3rd, 2nd, FTIDFC by SG. Saphira Gold.
Wow, we synced up by accident.
Beautiful on 285 and knocking on the door of 300 on 297 points is Mr. Sam Wandam Van Bam. Whoa, Black Belly Bambalam Damby with Here Comes the Sun after another cracker, an 83-point week, restoring his lead at the top. Congratulations. I know, right? Join our league. We've got like 65 people in it now. The league joining link is down below in your podcast notes or on the Twitters or DG63MA. Free entry, OBS, and the winner gets themselves a mystery shirt. Ooh, mystery.
Peterborough.
There we go. Did that at the front.
There you go. I apologize to the listeners. We got far too serious. I needed to ask about fish. I needed to ask about other things. Like, this was the banter section. Instead, it turned into FPL. Ian, I especially apologize to you because I know that you drank a whole lot of beers last week in order. In the background of Chuck's videos, who also drank a whole lot of beers in a specific order. I know we're going fast this week, but come on, tell the people about the beer festival that you guys went to.
In the background of Chuck's videos. Yeah, that's very much Chuck's videos with the main event.
Jizz in it.
Chuck's videos with the main event of the Peterborough Beer Festival. I was just in the background.
Screaming jizz at various people's children.
Okay, that... Right.
Not various people,
bad.
our own.
Yeah, they were our own children, and we drank a beer that looked suspect, like the beer...
I think it was only me at that point.
Yeah,
you were off the beer.
Yeah, it probably was, actually.
Ian was quite drunk at that point, if the videos are to be seen.
Yeah.
We had mead.
Yeah. We did some self-imposed Oscar caveats as well, though, you'll be pleased to know. We started going through the breweries by alphabet and then decided that we could only order beers that had puns in the name.
I love it. I love it.
It was, well, it fell down on B because I can't remember what the brewery was called. But the beer was called Man Goes Into a Bar, and it was supposed to be a mango beer, but it was like it was salty. It was savoury mango. It was Awful business.
I had a lovely time in the asbestos capital of the UK. It was bloody lovely seeing Ian and his family and meeting his fish and
the famous Milo.
Eating. This is now the time to reveal I ate one of them in the middle of the night. Unlucky. Check your tank to find out which one.
Oh man, am I going to be counting now?
But the Peterborough Beer Festival just affirmed to me that I only like fizzy piss water. So next time we will be doing Carling, Foster's, and Amstel.
Bud Lights at 7:30 in the morning in New York City.
Absolutely. Let's talk football.
All right. Well, if you are joining us for the first time, thank you. We're very happy to have you. We are one American and two Brits, and we try to talk about the Premier League, but often get distracted. Usually we have a bit of banter up front. We already got to the FPL, so join our leagues. Click the link in the description. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/milesoffsidepod. Join us. We have a fun Slack where everyone's really wholesome and nice, and various other tiers with various other rewards and whatnot and all that good stuff. But let's get straight into it, as we always do around these parts, with our famous segment, Rapid Fire Fixtures. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, there's no, this is where we usually go, but there's no news. So we're just going to go jump straight into the matches themselves. We'll start with obviously the most exciting and important one. Brighton 1, Leeds 0. No, just kidding. We're not going to talk about Brighton Leeds. But let's go to the highlight of the week, obviously. This was at 10 a.m./7 a.m./15 p.m. in the UK.
I never
Saturday.
know where we're going. When Oscar says the actual highlight of the week, I genuinely don't know. Like, the Brighton v Leeds thing could have been sincere. You know?
But then he says about 4 different time zones, so I can't even work it out from that either.
Soon I'm going to start putting Melbourne time zone in there just for Dave. Love you, Dave. But
just say the match.
Man City 4, Palace 2. Man City 2.5 to Palace 0.1.
Oh, that was the most exciting match. Oh, okay.
It probably was the most exciting match.
It was easily the most exciting match. Chuck going 2 up against City. That felt nice. The end result less so, but talk to us.
Oh, I didn't watch it. It was at 3:00, so, you know.
Right, you were off supporting your local team, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I was at work, but sure. We went 2-0 up against City and then lost 4-2. I don't have much. That was nice to go 2 up inside 25 minutes. And a bit weird. And then nature healed, I guess. The oil slick overran nature and just ruined everything. The bastards.
Oh dear. But I mean, it's a funny one, this, isn't it? Because you generated negative XG, I think, but at the same time can somehow
0.1, Ian, 0.1. Okay. That's technically not negative. Or not minus, negative, no. As the minus numbers, as you would say.
Yeah. But somehow can feel aggrieved at losing this match. That's sort of a bizarre situation, I think.
Yeah, I mean, aggrieved would feel a bit weird, and obviously beforehand wouldn't expect anything. But yeah, their own goal early on, and then Joachim Andersen scoring, which was great. And then a third goal, which was disallowed because reasons of refereeing incompetency. And no, I will not get down off my pedestal on this one. And then apparently it's fine to just kick players in the face now at head height and not even get anything, just refs trying to play on. And then
I don't know, that was head to foot. That looked head to foot to me.
Anderson was leaning down.
Head to foot. I saw it with my own eyes.
Just because they're both 6'4" doesn't mean if the foot and the head are at 6'2" that it just absolutely baffling. And it goes back to the kind of the same thing for me as with like the Trippier thing on Kevin De Bruyne, and I don't think we actually really talked about it on the pod. But the fact that got changed to a yellow from a red is mental, because he goes in studs up, and it's not like the momentum behind it or the whatever people say, the intent, or Trippier's in his baffling post-match saying, I'm not that type of player, I didn't mean to, but also then saying, I just needed to bring him down.
Yeah,
flying
I
in,
committed a professional foul. Yeah.
flying in at knee height and only missing slightly. It should just be that's, it shouldn't be waiting for the player to get critically injured before something happens, right? That it should be judged on after the fact on the injury.
And it does feel like we're kind of headed that way too. Like you say, we shouldn't have to wait for a player to get critically injured. Like that's where this is going. These refereeing has been out of control for the first 3-4 weeks, however many weeks it's been.
The example that sticks in my head with the letting them play on from stuff, we've seen it potentially with offside decisions. It happened with Ben Godfrey in the Everton against Chelsea game, where the ball went out and then obviously played in. You remember, Oscar, he slid in as the Chelsea player shot and then broke his leg and he's out for 3 months. Let him play. Brilliant. We're seeing more and more aggressive tackles, which is only going to escalate, as it were. I'm not saying that you have to clamp down on everything. Football is still a contact sport, but come on now. It's at least got to be blown for fouls. Add into that the potential with 5 outfield subs and things being made late that we could end up with more soft tissue injuries versus players that are then playing for 90 minutes versus potentially a whole new attack. There's a lot of other sides of it at the minute that feel like we're also in more fixture congestion. Because as of yesterday, every team that's in Europe has 6 games in 21 days.
Totally fine. It's fine. Not worried.
Yeah. Sure. So it just seems weird that at this time, coming out of COVID still, when they're playing catch up with fixtures in advance of a World Cup, to then be loosening the rules to the point where more injuries and more danger is going to happen, and it's escalated. And so whether or not you see the Haaland-Don Anderson thing, whatever your club allegiance is, because it seems like a lot of Palace fans and a lot of Liverpool fans, obviously, are kind of unified in this one, that if you put your foot up at that height and get your studs into someone's face, how that's not even a yellow card. Even if you deem that as, the classic was always careless, reckless, or in an aggressive manner. Careless being nothing, just a warning. Reckless being a yellow card, and aggressive manner being a red. You can't see that as even being close to that, and it's baffling. And then you have Dermot Gallagher, the fucking head of referees, looking like a sweaty bald bollock, talking on Sky, saying 3 times how Edouard. Well, no, actually he said about Ayew 3 times, so that's good because they look similar, don't they?
Brilliant.
Shouldn't kicked the ball out of Ederson's hand when he didn't, but because the referee instantly blew the whistle, nothing could have been done about that. And you're like, right, why are you so certain in that situation that you can do that? But then in other situations where you can let play go on for up to a minute at a time and be able to call it back, are you fine for a VAR official to look at it? It's a consistency type thing that no one could have made that decision. I mean, he didn't kick the ball out of his hands, but we'll also never get the extra angles and the extra way of seeing that because
that's the reason. Is it because the ref blew up instantly?
Well, in my head, because the ref blew up, because we had it. Do you remember Brighton? I think it was Brighton against Palace actually. That there was this weird thing where Dunk hit the free kick and then the ref blew the whistle when the ball was in the air, and the ball went in, and he disallowed it and called it back for the free kick. Mm-hmm. I think once the whistle goes, that signifies the stop of play. So what happens afterwards, unless it's a foul or a fight or whatever, that goal could never have stood, ever. It couldn't be looked at. It couldn't be redone at all. And so, it's a bit weird because that's why I think Ayew didn't even really react. He just kind of turns to the ref and holds his arms out because he shoots, but the whistle's already gone. So it's kind of irrelevant what he did at that point. And so, I'm not going to say it's a bias of the refs because I will stand by it that there's just incompetency and they aren't fit for purpose at the level at the level they are. It's every team. We see it every team every week. Just they aren't capable of keeping up, especially now we're going to get more. They should be subbing refs at half time, for fuck's sake, because we're going to see more players. Refs have to keep up with the pace of the game, and we're doing everything to increase the pace of the game by wanting to lower stoppages, potentially changing to like a 60-minute rolling clock, so to stop time wasting. All of these things, extra subs, it's only going to speed the game up. And then you've just got these fucking layabouts that just amble up the sides, tell their linesmen not to give stuff, because referees do that. I've said it before. They are fucking arrogant, and they don't want assistant referees giving fouls and things like that, even if they can clearly see, making that position even more redundant. So I find it really baffling. It's something that needs to be sorted out, and it also needs to be scalable, I guess, is the main issue. But,
you know me, I have like a very, very limited amount of patience for referee talk because, as you said, it just is like inherently part of the game that they suck and that like mistakes are going to happen. And we tried to do something about it with VAR, but like it still just is people at the end of the day. I think they are fundamentally in an impossible job. Like there should be 3 referees. There's 3 referees in a fucking basketball court. We've had this conversation before, right? There should be 3 referees, not 1 referee and 2 assistants. Like 3 equal referees that can all make calls. And if they disagree, the third one's the tiebreaker. Like, very obvious solution in my opinion, but like that's not going to happen, whatever. But it does feel like there's been an uptick, not just in the systematic failings of referees, but like in the way that they are refereeing the game specifically in the Premier League, specifically this season. And with regards to the violence
we always see it
fouls,
early as well.
Yeah, we always see weird stuff early, but I feel like this year it's looked like the 1986 World Cup out there. Like, people are just hacking down ankles. It's almost like those Maradona rules that came into play after that, like, never came in. It's dirty out there. Like, someone's going to get their fucking leg broken. And the referees are just letting it happen. Like, every game, every week, there's some, like, really violent-looking foul where I'm like, holy fuck. If he was off by, like, a quarter inch to the left, like, that person's ankle or leg or shin would just be shattered. And instead, it's, like, totally fine.
It's like the Richarlison thing, right? Richarlison
hilarious.
should
hilarious
be,
and deserved.
It's really funny. He shouldn't be in that game just standing there doing keepy ups. That's how to be. But also, he shouldn't get like basically assassinated by 2 players sprinting in at him opposite angles, like and flipping him upside down.
Ian, as the lower table divisions pyramid representative here, the League 2 guy. League One. I apologize.
League One.
I caught it before you even said anything. I apologize, sir. I apologize.
It's still out there.
What's your perspective on like violent tackles?
Well, first of all, if they get relegated, I instantly lose 50% of my posh coins.
Okay.
Fucking happen. Anyway, no, I think the thing is, I think you're right in everything you said. The thing is, we know exactly what's happening. That every season the referees have these certain directives of how the game's going to be done this season, and they were told to let more
it flow.
go.
Let it flow.
And to
doesn't matter if their shins break. Fucking
to specifically not give penalties unless there's proper contact. To not give fouls unless there's a serious reason to. And you've seen that it happens every year. Remember, like, was it a season or 2 ago when they made changes to the handball rule? And there was penalty after penalty after penalty.
Yeah.
And then they went, oh, this is a bit silly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always this overcorrection, and at the start of the season,
and now you see like stupid shit like the Luca Digne one against Palace, which is 100% a penalty. Fuck off, deal with it. Wasn't. You got Steve Cook Supermaning himself into the air, and then in the Man United game, right after they scored, you've got Scott McTominay. I think he handballed it 3 times in one go.
Yeah, nice of him to debut his juggling act.
He thought he was playing volleyball out there.
Unbelievable.
He's filming Top Gun 3.
That's not a pen. Yeah, it is mad. Just especially because it's like if you have these directives, like, and we know they're not going to keep this up for the whole season. So it's almost like
that's the thing.
Why try and do these? Do you remember when they had what was it with penalties that like shirt pulling? They were actually giving penalties for it.
I know.
And it lasted about
remember.
6 games, and Everton had like 3 or 4 penalties for themselves in like 4 games, and Calvert-Lewin was amazing. And then because like fundamentally in every game there should be like 3, 4, 5 penalties, but they just don't want it to happen, which is
practically
weird.
Every corner,
which is weird because like every other, like I know it's a bit Americanism, but you look at those sports, like it's all about driving up the score and getting higher scoring games, whereas in football it seems everything is contrived to keep the scores as low as possible.
Do you know why that is, Chuck? I can tell you why that is.
Because otherwise Liverpool will win 13, 15-0
No,
against
it's because
Bournemouth.
the sport was invented in England and you guys hate fun. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is true.
Exactly. You have to really fucking earn anything other than a 0-0. Oh, dear.
That's about 20 minutes more than I want to spend on referees. Can we talk about the soccer of this one? Erling Haaland, really good. City.
No, I'm done with the fixture. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care.
Well, the only thing I will say is,
don't care.
Chuck, when because I didn't see the 3 o'clocks until much later, because obviously
You were supporting your local
country
team, obviously.
Well,
Yeah, but his local team was also playing at 3 o'clock.
I was listening to Posh because I paid to listen to the commentary. So yes, I was listening to Peterborough. I wasn't there because they were playing. Who were we? Oh, we were at Derby. Oh, awful business. So anyway, I was in a way supporting my local team. But what I was going to say is, when the messages come through from Chuck and he's aggrieved, and I understand it. There was a definite part of me that went, oh, here we go. There's a fan who's just not happy that his decisions haven't gone his way. And there was definitely a part of me that thought that. And then I saw them and I was like, that should have been a red and that shouldn't have been disallowed. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, he was right this time. Yeah. We get very emotional about stuff, but then there's some just very clear things that you think that doesn't need a video pass, really, to figure that one out. Like, neither of those incidents required a video pass, and I don't know what happened. And it's a shame because it does sort of, imagine the game, because that would have been Palace 3-0
3-0, right?
Yeah,
3-0,
and then
3-0, and a man up.
And Haaland goes off. Imagine it.
So then it might have only been 3-3. You know, these are the things that can happen. But you don't learn a hell of a lot, even at Palace's level or teams that are outside the top 6. You don't learn a hell of a lot about them in games like this, and you need a hell of a lot to go right in order for points to happen. That happened last year with the 2-0 and the 0-0 against them. That's just a fact. And so when some of those things don't go against you, you get those incidents, like you said, and you're also happening to play the best team in the world who have just added one of, if not the best strikers in the world. You're going to struggle, especially if you sit back. So did I learn a whole lot about Palace in this one? No. Would probably have liked, if we went 2-0 up, not to just try and sit back for 65 minutes because it wasn't going to work. And City just going to City. Erling Haaland has scored 6 goals in his first 4 Premier League games, so he's just a fucking monster.
All right, in terms of the Manchester City narrative, then, because like Chuck just said, we didn't really learn that much about Palace here, but we maybe are learning some stuff about City? ? Are we looking at the 7 goals that they've scored in the last 2 games, or the 5 that they've conceded in the last 2 games, and are either of those anything to note at all?
I don't feel like they are. Like, as in the goals conceded, are anything to note, really. I know City are usually impervious when it comes to defence, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's not anything to massively worry about when you're talking about the start of a season. And I don't know. They've come through at the minute. Other than a single draw, they have managed to come through, albeit they needed a referee's help here. But I haven't got anything vastly intelligent to say about City other than if they figure out that Haaland is always where he is, like they seem to in this match, like with his constant sort of run, then drop off, then run, then drop off. If he doesn't get the ball, and if they just keep putting the ball in the right place, then they will keep scoring more than the other team. And I'm happy to be the layman on this podcast. And it's as simple as that with City, that I think if they keep just popping the ball into the right area, he will always be there. And he's fucking massive. So if you pop it on his head,
he's pretty
he'll
fucking
bang it
big.
in. If you pop it on his foot, he'll put it in. It's not, he's just something else. Yeah. And I think that City can afford a couple of games like this where they go 2 down, and admittedly it was a bit of a the first goal was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? Like it was Kyle Walker assisting John Stones for Palace to score, so it was a weird one. And it's
a goal born in Yorkshire.
Indeed. So they can afford some odd things like that if they're going to be able to score hat-tricks from a striker they didn't have before.
Yeah, if this is the adjustment period.
Yeah, just imagine how good they're going to be once Foden learns to pass to Haaland.
Well, he finally fucking did, the prick. Had to be against Palace.
All right, shall we move on? We had Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0. Liverpool 3.4 to Bournemouth's 0.4.
Is this the Burnley? Do you want me to play the Burnleys? No?
I mean, as over performances go.
Yeah. Look, you're never going to generate 9, but you're going to generate 3.4. You're going to have a good fucking day. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anything at all from this other than, wow, Liverpool sure can score goals?
Again, with this being in the 3 o'clock, had to wait till match of the day at the end of the day and put on the highlights. And obviously, when there's high-scoring games, most of the highlights are just goals. But genuinely, in the whole highlight package for that match, they showed 3 touches that Bournemouth had, and they were in and around the Liverpool box. And those 3 touches leaded to a Liverpool counter-attack and goal. So, yeah, Bournemouth are fucked. They have conceded, since beating Aston Villa 2-0, they are 0 goals scored and 16 goals conceded. Granted, that is skewed by this result, but even still, that's bad.
I love the way, this is skewed by the goals they conceded.
Not the result. Yeah.
Also, the other goals they conceded also continue to skew it even more.
Yeah. Bad. I mean, granted, they've played, the heavy losses were against Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool, which is interesting because I realised that the 4 teams Bournemouth have played are the 4 teams that Palace have played. The exact same fixture runs, it must be,
Nice.
That it's worked out. And Scott Parker came out and just said they're basically shit. He said, is this going to be a low point of the season? No, we're probably going to have
Possibly
a load more.
not.
Woo! Oh, captain, my captain!
Unbelievable.
But he looks
thing
fucking
to say.
handsome saying it. He looks real fucking good saying it, I'll say that. He could say all the bad things he wants to say to me.
Rumour has it, every time they conceded a goal, he gained an extra armband on his little cardigan.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you can just see the score graphic in the top left of the picture that's cut off of when Liverpool are 9 up and Klopp's just stood there on the sideline with his arm around Scott Parker. I'm like,
gives him a little cuddle.
How did he not just headbutt him in that moment? That big German bucktooth bastard, I would have laid the absolute nut on him. Don't
mate,
do that.
fuck off.
This is on telly, mate. This is on telly. You are bending me over and ripping me a new one right now. Well, Mo Salah didn't, which was brilliant. I loved that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Triple captain, Ian,
triple captain Mo Salah, right, Ian?
Well, you know me. I'm
Right decision, wrong outcome.
I'm a decisions man.
Bad decisions, man.
I mean, as I've said a million times, if you can triple captain on a single game week, you have to. It's the obvious play.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did we really learn anything about Liverpool here?
We learned that they can do it with Firmino still. He's not going to do it every week, right? But he fucking busted an old performance out. That's a Firmino classic right there. You would think that with 2 of their best attackers injured or suspended for red card, that they might have struggled. This is not even close to their preferred lineup here.
I mean, it's just lucky, really, that they had a real statement to make. They were at home, and unfortunately, Bournemouth are going to be that team, it seems, this year so far. They're the kind of team that we predicted the most as being bad. What's funny is 4 games in, they're still not in the bottom 3.
Jesus, really?
Because the
it's been a
3
weird
teams,
start, man.
the 3 teams that I said were going to be shit this season, and I know it is very early days, but yes, I am going to nail my colours to this mast. Everton, Wolves, and Leicester make up the bottom 3. So, this is like Oscar just said. This is a proper weird year. Even if you saw by underlying numbers, Bournemouth are the worst. With Nottingham Forest and West Ham down there, and then the other 3, Wolves, Everton, and Leicester. So, yeah, very interesting. And I think what we said before about City conceding, I think it's probably more indicative of the league as a whole this year, as opposed to the good teams being bad. Because the history books just show that as City 3 points, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But we are getting a lot more competitive. I mean, just as of today, we look at the total spends in the league. I mean, we're the fucking
It's
Super
all the
League,
other
man.
leagues 3 times over, right? Is that what
Well, the thing is, I heard today that there's an expectation of about another 400 million in the next couple of days from the Premier League.
Yes.
200 million of that is info. But
The other 200 is Chelsea.
yeah,
At least.
Chelsea are knocking on the door of 200 before the Fofana stuff, which seems to be done at 70 million.
So 300.
West Ham have spent 180 million. Nottingham Forest, we know they've still got a few signings. They're at 150. Man United at 140. They've still got more signings. Tottenham, Newcastle, all 6 of those are above 100 million. So you combine that for close to $1 billion. And it doesn't really matter what the other teams have done, but they have spent as well. So
Nottingham Forest with all their signings and still managed to put out a beautiful British starting 11. Oh,
That Nottingham Forest situation, like where they're buying players and loaning them back to like random teams, and like that shit is approaching like conspiracy theory, money laundering territory.
The owner owns... It's nothing that the Watford owners haven't been doing for years with Udinese, the Pozzos. They've done it with this year. To get them more money, they sold Hassan Kamara to Udinese and then loaned him back to Watford for the year. But like sold him for 15 million. And so Marinakis, who owns Enfo, he owns Olympiacos as well. So he's signing players from Nottingham Forest, loaning them straight out to Olympiacos. But yeah, it's fucking shady. You got to feel at this point, like 18 signings, they're genuinely going to get to 20. That's not an exaggeration or anything. You have a 25-person squad in the Premier League, so 5 spots for the team that got them up is a bit... But, you know, if that clicks, that clicks.
still playing Steve Cook.
Speaking of getting them up, gentlemen,
anymore.
I didn't want to do this at the front for the banter section at the front because I can't have like only true fans who've committed to being a half hour into this podcast are allowed to hear this. But I have a confession to make. And I haven't told either of you in the Slack. Ian's head perked up immediately. I have to say, gentlemen, after 4 years, I have to swallow my words. I'm a new man, a changed man. Long live the pyramid.
What?
Wrexham, baby! We are all Team Wrexham in this fucking house. Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
Up. I'm a Conference National fan now. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Unless they're in the league. I don't know who's in League 2. Don't tell me if they got promoted or not. No spoilers for the show. I'm not Googling it either. But let's fucking go, Conference National Wrexham. Yeah. I don't know. It's the romance of the small coal town and what it means to the people in the community, Ian.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They live and breathe by these clubs, Ian. And, like, it means so much to them. Fuck the international fans. They don't care about Americans and whether they want this team to exist or not. In my opinion, doesn't mean shit. But, the romance of it. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking.
If you came into hundreds of millions of dollars, would you buy Peterborough and, make them a project of yours to get into the Premier League?
Is this you? Are you making a pitch right now? Are you making a pitch?
Yeah. He just needs his posh coin to pay out.
Yeah, exactly. I desperately need him in the Championship. I need my 15% bonus.
Yeah, long live the pyramid, man. The league, outside the league, that's where the true football fans are. Is down in the 5th tier.
Talk to me about that.
Not in the Football League. Also, no spoilers. This show started 2 years... There's an acceptable time has passed for this
spoilers.
to be... No spoilers. What are you going to do?
Well, just
Not
don't
look
I
at the
don't know
league
if they went
table
up or not,
afterwards?
so just don't
What
tell
if they
me,
do a
that's all.
season 2, Oscar? You can't look then. If the season 2 releases the season, you're always going to be a year behind in football. Then eventually, Wrexham will be in the Premier League and you're like, don't tell me what happened.
Hey, they're a team that's not in the Big Six plus Palace, so I wouldn't know what happened to them anyway, even if they were in the Premier
Long way to go. Long way to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And it begins with W, so you're definitely fucked.
Yeah, forget it. Yeah, Wrexham. I'm wrecked if they come up. But yeah, man, Wrexham, check it out. I told Nick to watch it. He loved it. Anybody who hasn't watched it, welcome to Wrexham. Very romantic. Genuinely, I'm like a supporter of a small team now, so.
There we go. Love that. Love it.
Should we give out Burnley of the Week whilst we're talking about small teams?
Sure, what's the Burnley of the Week?
Oh, they're better than they ought to be.
Burnley of the Week. Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. Southampton generating 1.16 and Manchester United generating 1.1. You know why it's undeserved? Because fuck them. That's why they're the Burnley of the Week. See also Everton. as Brentford generated 2.8 XG against them to Everton's 1.5, with it being a 1-1 draw. So yeah, very tough. Frankie Lamp's getting another point somehow. But yeah, I'm just going to give it to Man United there.
The only thing I would say about Man United is it's annoying me the level of Twitter discourse from Man United fans you're getting of, see, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. It's like, you beat Southampton 1-0 and it not even convincingly. Let's calm down a little bit. You know, I know you did a number on Liverpool, fair enough. But then came what should be an easy game against Southampton, and I think they made a fucking meal out of it.
Well, Southampton should have had a penalty.
Once we're seeing Casemiro over McTominay in that lineup, they're going to be a very different team. I continue to be afraid of Man United and the sleeping giant that they are. I'm just saying.
Maybe, but that's what it's one player. It's still behind the scenes an absolute fucking dumpster fire with no decent facilities when you compare him to fucking.
They just spent £80 million on a winger. At the start of the window, they could have bought for 45. So
that's good business, guys.
This is good business because you wait and then you allow your investment to mature, and then that way it's worth more. This guy, Anthony.
That is indeed what Ajax have done.
Yeah.
They should talk to Todd Bowley and get themselves a president of business.
You're talking about fucking money laundering. Eric Eichhag has done more for Ajax in the last 5 weeks.
Oh, he's got some Ajax coin, don't you worry about that.
150 million. Straight siphon that straight into Amsterdam, baby. Yeah, definitely. Fuck me. Anyway, Oscar, do you want to talk about Chelsea?
Sure. Yeah. Chelsea 2, Leicester City 1, Chelsea 1.9 to Leicester's 1.7. The XG missing the key element here, which is that Conor Gallagher got himself a fucking red and a half, basically, in about 10 minutes. Really, really, really stupid. But Chelsea looked incredible after that. Chelsea outplayed Leicester down to 10 men. So I should say, the reason the XG ended up pretty even is because Chelsea outplayed the Leicester very, very handily for 80 minutes and then battened down the hatches because they had a lead and tried to protect it for the last 10 and invited shot after shot on themselves. So it was a little sketchy at the end there. If I'm being honest, maybe 2-2 wouldn't have been that most surprising thing. But I think that they looked so good after 10 men was a really good sign. Sterling scored. Got his, Chelsea account started with a brace. Really nice curler for the first one. Bit of a deflection, but we'll give it to Raheem on that. And the big thing for me is even before the red card, they came out if you remember, cast your minds all the way back to 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whenever this was, the lineup got announced and we were flipping out that it was just going to be the same fucking thing with Ruben at right wing back. It was basically the same 11, but with Trevoh Chalobah instead of Koulibaly for his red card as last week. But then they came out and they were in maybe a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, not quite clear because it was like a really hybrid system, but it was decidedly a back four with Cucurella at left back and Reece James at right back, not at right wing back. And Ruben, man, put him in the midfield and he looked fucking great. I don't know if you guys watched this or watching the highlights of it or anything, but Ruben was like progressing the ball, doing the midfield things that you need a midfield to do. And they looked good. Conor Gallagher, still not a midfielder, better in a 3, but still has no idea how to tackle. So he got himself sent off, a bit overexcited. I'm not even mad at him about it. But I think now that Kovacic is healthy, he came on, he played a little bit. Hopefully, I really, really, really am holding on to that hope that we'll sign either Frankie de Jong or some other central midfielder this week. Might be the last we see of Conor Gallagher, unless he pops up in a Palace jersey next week. Because you guys might be in for him. But I'm feeling good about this Chelsea result. Obviously, when you win with 10 men, that's got to feel good. But more than anything, the thing I was happy about was the formation change and the tactical changes that Tuchel made, basically admitting that he fucked up last week. And that he fucked up at the end of the game against Spurs. Like, that's not an easy thing for managers to do, especially tactical ones like that. Like, they can get really wedded to their ideas, really kind of stubborn. And we've seen that from Tuchel. So for him to come out and not say in words, but say in formation choices that, like, I fucked up and we need to try other stuff for this to work, was really nice to see. And, it's just Leicester, but, like, we looked really good again with 10 men. Like, we kept them back. We, like, bossed that game for a solid 80 minutes there. So that's where I'm at on that one. I don't know. Either of you have any FPL assets in Chelsea or want to shit on Leicester or say nice things about Chelsea in addition to what I've said? Ian, how are you feeling on Chelsea? Say something nice so I feel nice.
I don't want to upset you, but I do just sort of struggle to because it's Leicester. And I don't know what Leicester are at the minute. That do you know what I mean?
Crap.
It's
Crap. Yeah.
it's so weird, and I don't really get Brendan Rodgers doesn't seem to be. I don't know. Like he's a manager with a big personality in the game and a decent reputation previously. So I'm sort of surprised he's not mouthing off a bit more in press conferences about the fact that absolutely nothing has happened other than losing players. We've obviously, as we record, we've got a few days till the transfer window closes, but there is just no noise, is there, about Leicester doing anything?
We're doing our best to give them a transfer budget. We're like, here, do you want $200 million to play with? No, you don't? Okay.
Leicester isn't money. They don't need money, but they've just got too many players to actually have a squad. I'm very surprised that we're this late on, and it seems like they're going to keep Maddison and Tielemans. I'm quite surprised about that.
I'd take Tielemans at Chelsea, honestly, unless he's a bad person. I don't know, but if he isn't, he's a pretty decent midfielder.
I think he's underrated. I think he could do very well. But yeah, so I don't mean to shit on Chelsea at all, but I just think this is a bit of a nothing result. I get that you're saying 10 men, happy to dispatch any Premier League team with 10 men, of course, especially because it was relatively early on. I think Conor Gallagher's first yellow was dubious whether it was a yellow, but once you've got that yellow,
he's just an excited little puppy, and then he gets home. He really excited. Wants to play for Chelsea. Gets his first start at the bridge, and he just runs around and humps the lamp and pisses on the sofa. And
honestly, the second yellow could have been a red on its own anyway. So,
I don't know whether I agree, but I can certainly see what you're saying. It was 100% a yellow and maybe an orange.
It just wants to force a move to Palace. That's it.
Well, maybe.
Clearly.
But I both simultaneously thought, what a fucking idiot, and really felt for him, because you could see the second he did it, he was like, oh, fucking hell, this is not... Yeah. These few games I've had with Chelsea have not gone how I wanted them to go, because they haven't, have they?
No,
After the season he had with Palace, which was incredible. So, yeah, all I would say is this is a very much... As we've got to be with everything, because the season's still very young, but it was very much a jury's out type thing with Chelsea so far. Sure. Down to 10 men, but it was only Leicester. But you can only beat what you've got in front of you and deal with the situation that Conor Gallagher put you in. So that's fair enough. And you did do that. And as you say, you then shut down and dealt with some pressure, to be fair, and defended decently against it. So I think you can only be happy with this result. I just don't think it necessarily says very much.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, for me, the big thing more than the result was the tactical changes and the formation change. Yeah. If we can see a 4-3-3 at the start of the next game, I'll be fucking over the moon. But yeah. Shall we talk Nottingham info Tottenham? This one's for all the Ottenhams.
Sure. I enjoyed that. That's good.
I'm so pleased with myself. Tottenham get all the Ottenhams. So that's it.
You had to slightly mangle the pronunciation, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Anything that 2.7 to 1.0, 0-2 on the scoreline.
No,
I don't know.
That pun is the best thing about the game. So that's it.
There you go.
That's true. That's all right.
True. Then shall we? We kind of got FPL out of the way. Is there anything else to plug, or should we get to the?
No, let's quiz.
Bluffer time. It's Bluffer time. Time for quiz. Quiz is bluff. Bluff the quiz. Quiz the bluff.
Oh yeah,
Oscar
Bluffer,
said, "Do the things." I realized last week that we didn't explain the Bluffer, so for any new listeners, I'm going to give a category. They're probably not. They haven't made it this far.
It's late. It's late, man. Let's just fucking go.
Nah, it's fine. I'll give them a category. There's a certain number of items in that category. They take turns betting how many they can say, and then whoever calls the bluff has to make it. If they miss, the other person gets the point. And Ian, since Chuck is being obnoxious, I will throw to you first. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. What would you like?
1.
Now, as a reminder, all 5 of today's bluffers are from the second of the original Bluffer trilogy, mid-pandemic episodes. There were 15 categories. I have chosen 5 from that day. You've heard these all before. This one was Chuck's, and in an effort to be fair to the two of us, he did this, but I'm going to keep the 2 things. And this is the list of presidents of the United States or prime ministers from the UK, starting with the year that Chuck was born, which is 1991. So since 1991, how many of the US presidents / UK prime ministers can you name? So a total of 12. Ian is bidding first.
He's just going to say 12.
No, I'm not, because I go with what I've sort of generally got written down. I can't write that fast, so I will go 7 to start with.
Okay, I'll just say 12 then.
Yeah, it's a good. That's probably the move I should have done. Yeah.
Fucking A, all 12. All right.
Yeah.
Let's have
Well
it.
done.
Prime Ministers, do I have to say their names?
That is how this works, yes.
Boris Johnson, Theresa May, David Cameron, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, and John Major.
Very good. 6 for 6 on the Prime Ministers. I'm thinking I should have gone back to World War II. Ian, I apologize if this was too easy and it's a point for Chuck.
No, I should have been 12. He's absolutely right.
That's true, you should have.
Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and the other George Bush.
Ooh, yeah, all right, I'll give it to you. Oh, I would have expected you to know his 2 middle initials. Good. George Bush the senior. Very good.
George
Point to...
H.W. Bush.
Yeah, wow, definitely point to Chuck. That is exactly correct.
Very
Herbert
good.
Walker Bush.
Herbert Walker, Texas Ranger.
Very good. All right, Chuck gets that one. Chuck, you get to pick next. Then I will give you your choice of A, B, C, or D.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting because you've closed one of the tabs. I'll just say A.
A. All right, well, we are on to the next one. I fucking smashed the fuck out of this one when it came up, so I'm curious to see what either of you do with it. It is the list of officially full-length released Pixar films.
Oh, shit.
Not shorts, and nothing that hasn't come out yet. The most recent having come out in June of this year, so it is a longer list than before. The total is 26 full-length Pixar films have been released as of August 29th, 2022. You do not need to go in chronological order, for the record.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
you don't
neither,
want to.
did, neither did you, but you still impressed us anyway. 12?
All right, 12 out of 26. Mr. Stimson, do you want to go halfway?
I'll go 14.
Over the halfway mark. Chuck, do you want to go to 15?
15?
Or higher.
Yeah, I'll go 15.
16.
16. Chuck, do you want to go to 17?
17?
Ian, do you want to push it into the 20s, you coward?
Shut your mouth. 18.
Did you say 18? Oh,
Yeah.
you've probably been to most of these at the cinema. 19?
19 out of 26.
No, I'm out.
Oh, damn it.
19. Okay. Ian, can you count with your dings?
I won't do dings, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't ding.
Okay,
I'm
no
out.
dings.
Okay, the numbers. Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Very good. That's 4 off the bat.
Cars 1, 2, 3.
Very good. That's another 3, so we are on 7.
Finding Nemo, Finding Dory.
Good. That's 9.
Shit. Incredibles, Incredibles 2.
Very good. That is 11 out of 19 that you need. So 8 more.
Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University.
Very good.
Honestly,
6
you've
more.
literally rattled off the ones I because I was
Yeah.
going for the sequel ones. Like,
Yeah, that's the way to go unless
Rack
you're
'em up,
a
yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah. Inside Out.
Very good.
love that film.
How many is that, Ian? I lost
That's
count.
14.
That's
14.
14. Up.
4 more.
Oh, I didn't have up.
And now I'm stuck. Oh my god, I'm really drawing a blank. Oh, The Good Dinosaur. That's the terrible one, isn't it?
That is, yes. 3 more.
Is Wreck-It Ralph?
Wreck-It
Shit,
Ralph is a
I'm
Disney
lucky.
film, I believe. It's not. It's not.
Fuck.
It's
I'm
either
lucky
Disney
now.
or DreamWorks. I think it's Disney though, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's Disney because the princesses are in it, but it is
Yeah.
not a Pixar. I apologize.
Oh.
Ian, did you have any others you wanted to throw out there?
I had 3 more. I had Soul.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of
that
course.
was the first pandemic one.
Yeah. I had Ratatouille
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. 2007.
and Wall-E, I think.
Yeah, 2008.
Oh, good.
that's all right.
No, good.
But I didn't have Up. I didn't have The Good Dinosaur. Yeah. So that was a
you could have
tough
also
one.
had Bugs Life.
Bugs Life, yeah.
Brave.
Oh,
I forget that's
Coco.
a Pixar. Oh, and Coco.
Coco,
I had
Onward,
Coco in my
Soul,
head.
Luca, Turning Red, and Lightyear. Lightyear being the most recent one.
oh
Onward,
shit.
turning. Wait, the Lightyear counts. Oh, I haven't watched that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's Pixar. It's Toy Story. So.
Seems weird that Wreck-It Ralph isn't. Anyway.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
if I'd have thought of Wreck-It Ralph, I'd have probably written it down, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
well.
right, so
lucky.
point to Ian there, tied up
Good job,
on
Ian.
1 each. Which means, Mr. Stimson, is your turn. Would you like... I did numbers, I did letters. Triangle, star, or circle?
Star.
Star. All right. This was a controversial one last time. It's hopefully not going to be as controversial this time. I am currently on benjerry.co.uk. These are Ben & Jerry's flavors in the United Kingdom as listed by their website, their own website, as of today. I literally loaded it.
I don't think there was controversy on this one.
There was, because you guys were like, that doesn't still exist. There's no way. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flavors listed on their current website.
Is that all? So I'm guessing you're not counting core, topped.
And this is why I'm losing this category.
Sunday. No, I'm not, because this happened last time. And you got it, Ian.
Did I say 10? I meant 15. 15 flavors that you can buy as a tub. Ice cream tubs. Classic flavors.
Okay, but like...
I'll read the little blurb to you while you're writing your answers down. Ian, Ben & Jerry's ice cream tubs are the classic way to dig into your favorite flavors with a U. Grab your favorite spoon and dig into your ice cream adventure, chunk after chunk and swirl after swirl. It's the quickest route to the great state of euphoria that we know of. Whether you're craving name, or anything in between, there's a Ben & Jerry's ice cream tub just for you.
7.
Classic bid, 7. Chuck, do you want to go take us over the halfway mark of the 15 flavors?
9. I'll go 9.
Ow. Yep.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Oh, Ian, you coward. 9. Chuck.
But the thing is, what you're left with is, because this is you either know them or you don't, I'll get up to what I know and then I'll go, vanilla? I mean,
that's true. What is Ben & Jerry? What is wrong with just a good solid vanilla?
Honestly, please. There's some of us are picky eaters, and I need the vanilla flavor option. Can we please do this? All right, Chuck. I'm gonna need 9.
Are the topped ones in there? Are there any of them that say topped or have like a colon or anything?
No, these are just classic tubs flavors.
Thank you. How many? 9. Fuck.
9. Yes.
Pahish food.
Yes.
Pahish food.
1.
Cookie dough.
2.
Chocolate fudge brownie.
Yes. 3.
Baked Alaska.
Correct. 4. I wish these were alphabetical.
And now I'm stuck. What, that I'm giving them to you alphabetically? Sorry.
No, on their website. There's no rhyme or reason to this order. I need 5 more from you, sir.
Caramel choo choo.
Yes, very good. 4 more.
Oh, the problem is I mix the American flavours in my head. It's not fun. Netflix and chilled.
Yep, very good.
Which means cone together will be there.
Yes, excellent.
Fuck
and I believe you need 1 more to get the point here.
And then 2 more.
2 more?
Yeah.
I can't count.
Damn
2
it.
more, please.
Nearly. Can't remember, was it birthday cake? It's like a strawberry one and it's got sprinkles and shit in it. I see it in the shops.
That is not the name. Do you want to... There's something... Ian, do you want to give him a mulligan there to be more specific? Or... Because I could kind of see what you might be thinking of, but there's like a couple that are on the fence. There's nothing called birthday cake, but I'm trying to be nice here.
I don't know what it is, so... it's hard for me to
All
say
right, then,
that.
boo! Sorry, Chuck. There's nothing called birthday cake. There's something called caramel brownie party. And there's something called strawberry cheesecake.
No, never heard of either of them. Again.
All right, well, there you go.
Cherry Garcia, was that there?
Cherry Garcia is not available in the UK? What the fuck?
Good. Yeah, I know. Chunky Monkey, would that still have been there? I don't think so. I'd have been out anyway then.
Chunky Monkey is there, yes. Any others you want to throw out?
Peanut butter cup, I had written down.
Peanut butter cup. I always forget peanut butter cup, and I love it.
Yes, peanut butter cup. Yep, that's there.
That's all I had extra.
There we go. You could have also had rain dough, cookie dough twist, cookie dough and cookie dough switched up, half-baked caramel sutra.
Half-baked.
And then I believe you said all the other ones.
Caramel sutra is a core flavour, I swear.
It's, take it up with Ben & Jerry's website. It is listed under their ice cream tubs.
Oh, don't worry. The letter is being written as we speak.
So I believe the scores are 2-1 to Ian. This one's for the win. Chuck, to defend from Ian getting the win, do you want left or right?
Left Twix.
Left Twix. All right, Chuck.
Oh, no.
There were 32 teams at the 2018 World Cup in the group stage.
Oh, my
How many countries from the 2018 World Cup can you name? This was the tournament that got this podcast its start. I believe the 3rd time this category has come up on the Bluffer.
Okay. Just guessing countries.
Yeah, it pretty
We
much
talked
is
about
just-
literally all of
16.
these games.
Yeah, of course we did, but,
16.
16. All right,
He's
16
gone,
from the
that's
2016.
nice. He's gone for the... Yeah, he's gone for half. It's nice. Okay, I'll go 17 just to give myself time to write down things.
18.
Cheater. 18.
Oh, fuck you then. I'm going to start writing things as well.
Well, definitely. There's 32 of them. 19.
19.
20.
20.
Go on, go 20. Go
Oh,
for
why?
20 for the win.
Ian, you're not going to take a single category this week?
No.
Fair
No.
enough. That's how he wins. He did beat us this way, Chuck. He just lets us
Yeah.
Go
bid
on.
high enough
If you get
that
20, you win. There we go.
Yeah, well, I can't get 20. Probably shouldn't have bid 20.
if you get 20, you get to force the fifth category. If you don't, then it is over for Ian getting the point this week.
I don't remember any of the groups. I don't remember any of them. Any of the groups as a whole. And that's
unfortunate,
why
given
I'm
that you're
fucked.
about to try to name
So
it.
it's- Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to guess countries. That's going to
Okay.
be it. So Russia,
1,
Brazil,
2,
Argentina.
3.
Oh, England played Panama.
Yes, and I'll give you England there as well.
England, Panama.
4.
Yes. 5.
5. Yep, very good.
Peru, they had lovely kits.
Yep.
Now the rest of South America, I don't remember which ones got knocked out or not. So let's go to Europe. France,
Good. 7.
Spain,
8.
Portugal,
9.
Belgium,
10.
Switzerland,
11.
Austria,
Boom. Nope. Did you mean to say Australia?
I did not.
When he was going through European teams.
I wasn't going to say Italy or Netherlands. I knew that because
Okay.
they didn't qualify.
Yeah.
Poland, I would have said. Then I would have just guessed other countries. Ian, play your music.
All right, well, the score now stands 3-2 for the season. The fifth category was Shakespeare's plays. I don't know who put Shakespeare's
God.
plays. I think that one was Ian's category from
Me.
that week. Oh, that was Chuck's. Okay, there you go.
I feel like
I went
I
back
did
and listened to
Shakespeare's
all 3 episodes, but congrats, Ian. Good job. Next week, 5 more categories from the 3rd trilogy episode, and then we're done with the Bluffer.
There we go. We are on game week 5 eve as we record. We've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday game coming into this week. And then we've got games again on Saturday. So we start the double game week bullshit really
Break
early
their
this
legs.
season. Yeah, run until your legs bleed. So the next time we record, fuck knows what we'll talk about. The transfer window would have slammed shut. As it were, and we'll have a shitload of fixtures to talk about, so we'll probably check up on Ian's fish. But thank you very much as ever for listening. I'm still here just waiting for Ian to read the things out. I'm not reading the fixtures.
Okay, no,
I've
fine.
got Game of Thrones to watch. This is ridiculous now. Just deleting the terrible countries I picked. Didn't even write down Austria. This is the thing. Say goodbye, Oscar.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Ian.
Bye.
Remember, join us on the Slack, join our FBL team, join the Predictor League, it closes soon. Thank you as ever to our producers. We got Nate, Mark, Sam, Jeff, Andy, and Tom. Thanks for listening. Bye. Bye.